Intermission. It's not something you can process in an afternoon of bottomless mimosas on the back porch of Sycamore, sinking onto my shoulder before noon sets in, aviators slipping down your nose. Don't you dare try to swallow it whole. Monkey Mambo #1. Fine. Here's something I remember. I am a jumping monkey. I'm 4, maybe. The plaid green couch is perpendicular to the khaki corduroy one, with a cherry stained table at the corner of the L, and on it a lamp like a Christmas tree, all green with white twinkly bits and squat at the bottom. I'm standing on the couch and maybe my parents are in the kitchen, like just a room and a long hallway away, but they might as well have been picked up in the goddamn rapture. I mean, okay. Like maybe they've just gone to the Stop and Shop and told my brother to watch me. He's a big boy. He's 3 years older. I am not yet a big girl, but I am alone. I am actually and totally and completely alone, and I am standing on the couch because I know couches are not for standing, and nobody can stop me. Flush with my luck, I take in the view of my new kingdom. First, my eyes pan over to where the living room carpet cuts to the hardwood of the office. There's a typewriter on a big desk with a lot of drawers for Dad to do his important work. At the other end of the office, there's me and Paul's laundry bag, all bulked up with 3 years of Hot Wheels. Paul and I always beg to go across the street to the A and B, $1 bills from pushing library carts stuffed in our shorts, to get some new cars. I mean, all of the new cars are like all of the old cars, of course. As if a kid could give two fucking shits that her plastic and metal vroom vroom is a replica of a '78 Mustang. But Dad did, and he's the one who held our hands across the yellow lines. Anyway, then I feel even more like a king, right? Since the Hot Wheels peeking out of the laundry bag look like ants from up here. So I start bouncing a little, just up and down on the one cushion. It's fun though. So I start throwing my weight into it. Then I start hopping from cushion to cushion on the plaid couch, waiting for Mom or Daddy to emerge from a hidden corner of the room and tell me to get the fuck down. But no one does. So I scuttle up onto the arm of the couch, bend at the knees like a diver, and glide up over the edge of the cherry table and onto old corduroy. And I cannot believe that I've made it without falling or someone screaming at me. So I start doing circuits, right? Hop, 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 leap. Hop, 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 leap. I can't believe my luck. I'm so excited, but I'm also starting to get tired. So I'm panting a little hard like Murphy does on the hot days. I don't notice I'm getting less air. On my next go around, I jump and clip my big toe on the base of the twinkly lamp and fall forward, belly flopping flat onto the arm of the other couch so hard that I bounce backwards onto the carpet. I feel like someone's poured hot soup over my right bottom ribs. Breathing in stabs my insides. It's then that I hear slippers pad down the hallway. Mommy? Her shadow spills out across the carpet. What the hell are you doing? Jumping. I fell. Help, it hurts. Mom. I hold my right side and stretch my neck back to look up at her because I don't want to bend the rest of me. Her teeth are bared like that German shepherd down the block. Good. Someday, every fucking thing will hurt. Now I know she wasn't wrong. Monkey Mambo number 2, Adam and Eve. This part is from Act 2, where we transition to what endures from what we remember. You rhapsodize about beauty and my eyes glaze. Everything I love is ugly. I mean, really, you would be amazed. Just do me a favor, it's the least that you can do. Just don't treat me like I am something that happened to you. I trace the ribs on your right side with my thumb in the yellow light. My hands are almost the size of your chest. I squint a little, and my splayed fingers become your ribs, become what holds your heart safe from harm, what keeps your breath moving no matter how stale the air is in here. Fuck, your skin is getting gray. The grooves between your bones have deepened in the past few weeks, despite me scurrying back from the kitchen with a little extra slop stashed in blood vials I pocketed from the infirmary. It could be 3 weeks in the hole if they catch me. But I will not watch you turn into a paper doll. Goddamn Garrett doesn't know when to let up. At least you seem to be sleeping tonight. Your short breaths rifling your corkscrew bangs. For a moment, I almost believe there is wind in your hair. I press my lips to your brow, lingering on the prickly little bits of your eyebrow. I put the tip of my tongue to taste them. I love you, monkey. As slow as I can, I peel my skin from yours and downward dog up from our cot, making a minor ruckus with your necklace. Last night, when I unbuttoned your uniform and let it fall to the floor, this cobbled together bit of magic was revealed. You had fastened it to your breast with electrical tape so it wouldn't make noise when you moved. But once we were alone, you wanted nothing more than to shake it all loose. This, you, this frenetic flailing in our dank subterranean closet. Everybody dance now. You ripped the thing off your chest in one flamboyant tug. Tear it off like a band-aid, right? So it'd flap around freely and then stuck your ass out and started twerking. You pumped your fists vigorously in front of your chest. Hey, baby. Um, what year are we supposed to be in right now? 2088. Back to the future o'clock. Right. The light caught your plastic lei, and I realized both that the edges of your necklace bit at your nipples when you bounced around, and that you did not care. Not even a little. Red splotches spun out in concentric circles from your sternum, holdovers from the tape. You looked like an esteemed tribeswoman from one of those glossy photographs in the National Geographics that used to overtake the southwest corner of our bathroom. I can't recall whether the subscription was yours or mine to start, or if we'd somehow accidentally agreed to an over the phone promotion when we were cold called by a daisy voiced intern and just couldn't bring ourselves to say no. We forgot about the $50 a year, as you do, as we used to. Oh, you know, the photos of the Aboriginal people. The ones where the women's lobes would stretch down to the dirt, and the sunsets painted on their sagging breasts helped to hail autumn from the other hemisphere to bring the rains. Though there's little left on you that wiggles anymore, my love. Shuffle, shuffle, spin. We shimmied to your mouth jukebox, and I caught your rail gray eyes with mine. I wondered if, in one possible world, the Francos were now an artifact of history, a history that puttered along past us, too. Like history found a window because it couldn't use the front door anymore. And you and I, in that universe, we're veneered in this wan light, ever lovely in hindsight, smiling up at some middle manager who spends his 9 to 8 in a too tall skyscraper on at least 5 out of 7 days of the mortal precious week. At this precise millisecond, somewhere that isn't here, we are frozen in this fanatical glee, held comfortably between the tome-heavy pages of exotic news from around a world that's found a way to be quiet again. To be that well-meaning mustachioed man sitting on his shitter on a pliant Sunday afternoon with a cup of sight glass in his right hand. But you, my darling, whether from tongue's length or a fighter jet wingspan, you've always seemed from somewhere else. Your sweat is sweet, and it runs down your cheek, not your nose. So I shimmied. I watched your beaten Vaseline-made lipstick smear to the left as you dripped with effort. I put my palm to the small of your back and pulled you into me, dipped you toward the steam pipes. I longed to fall to my knees and pray, put my palms in communion with every inch of you in succession. But I knew that wasn't what you wanted. I knew you needed something else for me, at least for a moment. Something subtler. A zigzagular line toward what's true. So I shuffled and I kicked. I started nodding along even harder and pushing my hips back and forth with a little rockabilly verb. I mean, I even threw some popping and locking into the mix. Because, like, if you weren't going to confine yourself to a decade, I wasn't going to either. You used to say I danced mostly with my head and my hands. The rest of me was just along for the ride. Dun, 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 dun. You whipped your hair to the left and thwapped a photograph of us in our first apartment in Bend, now dangling from the end of a defiant electrical wire. 1,000 thick and thin nooses still hang in these tunnels from when the Socios and the Francos first felt their way through them, smacking and sucking and clawing and ripping down through anything that helped or that hurt in the days to come. Can this be put to work? Can this be made to good? Can this be felt to be of use? Good thing the wires are no longer left with any lightning. Good thing we've got the oil and the generator boys to keep this sad city running. Dun, 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 you coo. But I just couldn't stop myself. Babe, you know what they'll do to you if they see this, I said, lifting one strand of your necklace toward my chest with my index finger. Sorry, sweetie, I can't hear you over the music. You turned around and bent over until your palms touched the shag carpet you'd strung together yourself. You wagged your ass at me, those standard issue high-waisted tighty-whities bunching up in the crack. I couldn't take it anymore. I picked you up in my right arm and plopped you down on the cot while you wriggled like a fish out of water. Maybe tonight is worth one of those condoms. I growl into the back of your ear, limbing the outline of your breast, your hip, your thigh with my left hand. I pressed my cock into that crevice I'd just admired. You really expect me to be wooed by moves like that? I could have anyone in this bar, you giggled, and struggled against me to gesture your left arm open to the empty room. You always could, love. You always could. I shake my head to clear the director's cut from behind my eyes, and something wet from my face falls straight onto your belly, sinks down. You twitch, sigh, turn over. The springs creak beneath you. I think, Franco, you don't wake up. Whenever anyone asks me why I pull double shifts in the dungeon, I tell them, for V. I don't say her name out loud, but I say yours. I don't talk about everything we've lost, but I do fill the spaces with what I remember when pressed. I remember loud throngs with little room to breathe. I remember short red corduroy skirts and you and I arguing about who got to spend more time with whose girlfriend when the other part of our dynamic duo was out of town. A Negroni always ending up in someone's face down someone's pants. I remember the winking, waxing moon behind Halloween thick clouds on an October evening when you told me you wanted her and me together. And I got down on my left knee and asked you to marry me because I didn't care who else you wanted to. I didn't care who else you wanted at all, so long as you wanted me. I remember before the ripple, I used to put my penis on anything that moved in a way that moved me. I remember the morning after mess just as much as the evening dizzy. I remember how it all made me feel invincible, Pyrex, improbable but possible. I remember breaking tumblers clear into glitter when I swept everything from the counter like a stage magician and told you I was going to fuck you on every surface in my apartment before we slept. As if I'd lived, as if I would live forever. As if I was truly alive. But when the world got cold, it was warmth that stopped me from jumping straight into the oven, to the hottest of heat. From walking into the whitest of nothings in a final flash of no more feeling. Such bright and brilliant absence lives in those furnaces now. Even if we hadn't lost A, things would be different now. What was I talking about again? This morning, and I was thinking about night or Jesus. You know, up there, B was my wife. Down here, she is the only song left on the radio.